What's going on, Soul Tribe? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and bring another little nugget to add to the Soul Tribe archive. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Mercury in Pisces in the first house. And this is a tricky place for Mercury to be. When you talk about Mercury, well, we're already doing part of the job. Mercury deals with communication and also how we understand. This could be about practical wisdom, how it deals with the knowledge, or even like education and things along those lines. Those are going to be some of the general aspects of Mercury. And then you get, when we talk about Pisces, they're ruled by Big Papa, Jupiter, and they are the mutable water sign, and they're receptive or yin in nature. And I find with Pisces, like all the water signs, there is a sensitivity to Pisces. And not just that they're a sensitive sign. I'm just talking about the energy in general. Is that they can feel things on a really, it doesn't take much. The Pisces energy is a very porous energy. They are of the water signs, the one that are completely immersed in the ocean. So there's this really cosmic connection that Pisces has. They can feel the undercurrents and there's a rich imagination that comes with Pisces, able to travel to different realms and to different dream states and things along those lines. It's a really cool energy when we're working with Pisces. And then you get to the first house. This in the traditional astrology was known as the house of it was like the hour marker. But this is where the ascendant lives. Or this is the ascendant, depending on which house system you use. I work with whole sign. So there's the house, the first house, and then the ascendant has its own point. So that's just something to pay attention to. But some of the themes that the first house are going to cover is the body, the appearance. This could be the character of the native. This could be the behavior, the temperament. This can be the speech. This is the beginning of all actions, like even the life of the native. And so when you're working with these placements, some things to consider that one, you'd have pretty easy enough. You have Pisces by whole sign as a Pisces rising, and you're going to want to look to see where Jupiter's at, because Jupiter's going to rule this first house and your 10th house, which is going to be your house of who you are, what you want to become, things along those nature. And Mercury is going to be responsible for your house of your home, your parents, your foundations, ancestry, things like that, and also your marriage house, your relationships, one-on-one relationships, whether it be in business, in therapy, anything along those lines there. So that's going to be something important to kind of look out to, that those themes are going to flow to that first house there. But one thing that's kind of off the bat that I should mention with this is that this is a tricky place. Because it's a tricky place for Mercury, is because that it is the opposite sign of its home sign and exaltation of Virgo. So that means in Pisces that Mercury is not just in its detriment, but in its fall here. And when a planet's in detriment, it's just working in unfamiliar territory. Instead of being in the grounded areas of Virgo, we're in the more nebulous realm of Pisces. And now we're dealing with more emotional as opposed to more physical, something more tangible here. So that's at one, just a weird place for a logical planet like Mercury to be in. Then you include a planet in its fall. This is a tendency for its more kind of lower expressions to come out. So there could be, like I said, Pisces can be a very porous energy, very sensitive. So there may be this confusion, maybe seeing one thing, feeling one thing, but that may not necessarily always be true. There could be, it's just a lot of maybe this not being able to tell between what's fantasy and what's reality. You know, that could be some trickiness that where Mercury can get in its fall into. But just because, again, like it's in that place, it doesn't mean that Mercury can't do anything. This can be a very, very imaginative Mercury, one that could do, I think that would excel in any sort of like creative writing. Maybe take some time, maybe read some poetry or get involved in like cinema, or this could be even like photography, painting. I mean, I could say that being really nice. Maybe even like singing, creating music. Maybe even like, considering that Mercury rules the home space, you can maybe do something like interior design, exterior design. Maybe you start up your own sort of landscaping thing. Maybe you do some sort of like flower arrangements, things along those lines. Something where you're working with others. But that's going to be another kind of important thing too, to have those people that help see yourself objectively. Having those really kind of grounded people that you can trust to let you know maybe when you have your head in the clouds and to bring you down. But you can also too, I find this like a Pisces, I would think Mercury and Pisces could bring someone up as well, help them to inspire other people as well. I think that would be really great energy or great use of the Mercury and Pisces. And keep in mind too, the first house is where Mercury finds its joy, in the first house. And when a planet is joy in its joy, it's that it can express itself to its fullest. The themes of this house really suit Mercury very well. And so there could be this really deep understanding of oneself, of your inner world, and being able to express that in your outer world. Again, Jupiter rules this in your career space. So visualization would be a really great one, I think, for the Pisces, for this placement, the Mercury and Pisces, to and make like a vision board for it. Make a vision board and maybe kind of tuck it away somewhere. Have different sort of like aspirations and things, and know that whatever it is and is possible, but it's just figuring out how to get to those steps and finding those relationships, those people that can help you, again, take your imagination and make that tangible. You know, your home space would also maybe be another thing that really kind of shaped who you are. So that may be something too, if that Mercury, because again, that Mercury in Pisces can be very sensitive and maybe unconsciously pick up the energies that are around you, because having Gemini in the first house, maybe the home space was a little busy. There was a lot of energies that were going around there, and it can get a little tricky sometimes to tell between what is yours and what's others, what's being projected on you as opposed to what's being projected. And so that may be something too, where if you have any sort of like things that maybe you're carrying that you're having maybe troubles moving through and processing emotionally, then again, having maybe like a therapist or something, like maybe someone with some earth energy, maybe work with like a Capricorn, a Virgo, a Taurus, someone who can help you bring, because that's what I like, just as a sidebar, I have a lot of fire, and if I don't factor in the outer planets, I don't have a lot of I don't have any Earth placements. I get any planets in Earth placements. I have my midheaven in Taurus and the node in Capricorn. But I benefit having Earth placements around me. They really help me get a plan and help me to like, okay, that's great to have these ambitions. I have a lot of fire, like I said, but it's like, what can you actually do with that? You know, you have to take these steps there. So that could be something to pay attention to. Tarot, I think working with different symbols can be something that you work very well with. Get a very creative mind, I think, with this. So, you know, you are like, do some scrying. Look into working with maybe astrology, working with anything, like any sort of like prayer or something along those lines. I think that any sort of spiritual practice, and it doesn't have to be just spiritual in like the mystical sort of sense. I mean, it can get into like religion, things like that, the Christian mysticism, Jewish mysticism, things like that. But just some things to think about. No, throwing a lot at you there, but if you know this, and you need the rest of the chart to get a better picture of how this is working. So, but if you have this placement or know someone who's working with this placement, down in the comments section, tell us how this is manifesting, how you what great stuff. When's the last time you stared at the clouds a little bit? Got some messages. See, syncing up with the symbolism of even the word that the world brings. Oh, but also too, if you want to get more familiar with these placements, explore some avenues how to maybe better utilize this placement, if it's something that you have, or whatever placements that you have. Down in the description box is a link to get in touch with me and find out what services that I provide and form a partnership. So there's that. And then if you want to know what's going on with the transits right now, because we got, depending on when you're watching this, we do have a lot of Pisces energy going on. If you got Mercury in Pisces, especially in like the later degrees of Pisces, around like 24, all the Mercury and Venus are in retrograde right now, so they're going to hit up your placements. Saturn's coming that way. Neptune's been hovering there for like a minute. Nodes are coming through, so the mind may be under attack, and you need to know what's going on. That's not funny, but you can, you know, just to get an idea of of what's going on so you can find out what house, well, you know what houses is working for. So you can have different practices in hand. Definitely check that out on this channel. And then last thing, if you want to work with the moon, you know what's all the lunar shenanigans that are going on. There's a link for my other channel, or for, you're already here. There's a link for the Chariot and Friends, where I do videos talking about what sign the moon's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going for the course. It's a good old time. But that's all I got for you. So, oh, and I do like an I Ching and a tarot reading in there as well. This is all sorts of, speaking of a bunch of mysticism. So check that out. But until next time, keep raising that vibration through the roof. Seize the day and the night. And I will catch you. Oh, that's a purpose for Mercury. On the next one. Later.